Hi, booktube. It's Gina. Happy Monday. I am having a quiet moment here at home, so I thought I'd hop on and do a tag because I'm not sure if I will be able to tomorrow for official Tag Tuesday. I've got construction going on here. We're rebuilding our deck, and I've got 5 cats, one of which is at the vet right now with Greg. So I'm having a quiet moment and I'm going to take advantage of it. I was tagged by the wonderful and intelligent and beautiful and articulate Elisabeth at Bookends and Books, and this is the Reading Pet Peeves Tag. This, I think, started out just as someone talking about their reading pet peeves, and then it morphed into a tag. So it's got some fun questions, and I thought I would join the party. So thank you to Elisabeth for tagging me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tag people at the beginning because if I don't, I always forget. And I'm going to tag Mark at Book Time with Elvis. I'm going to tag Mitzi at Mitzi Reads and Writes. I'm going to tag Vin at Revenant Reads, our captain for Book Trek 2022. I'm going to tag David Wiley, and I'm going to tag Jordan Persons, who I don't think I've ever tagged before. So I hope that you will all do this tag, but as always, of course, no obligation. I'm just curious to hear your answers. So this is the Reading Pet Peeves tag. I forgot to grab who created it. So I apologize for that. I will grab that and I will put it down below because I forgot to put it in my notes on my trusty MacBook here. You guys, I have been starting to ogle for an iPad mini so that I could do some kind of notes and things on an iPad. What do you think? It seems a little extravagant, but I used to have a mini. It may have been like a first or second generation, and it was to the point where it was so old that I couldn't update it, the operating system, and so I couldn't even use the Kindle app on it. I tried to use the Kindle app, and it was getting a "you have to update" message, and I couldn't update it because my operating system was so old. So sadly, that went away. It's been a few years now. So I'm trying to decide if I want to buy a new one. Anyway, that's totally off topic. But I thought maybe my booktube friends could enable me to, by telling me how much they love their iPad, help me justify it a little bit. I don't really need justification. If I want it, I can buy it. And if I can afford it, I can buy it. But that's the kitten. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be one of those days. I can tell already. All right, prompt number 1. Do you use or read along with audiobooks? And I don't anymore. I have never read along with audiobooks, although I did hear somebody comment during Shakespeare that that's a really nice way to read a Shakespeare play for the first time, or as you're getting used to the language, is to listen to it on audio as you're reading it on paper, which I think could be really valuable. I might do that in September for Shakespeare. I used to read audiobooks a ton when I was commuting to work, this was back before 2012. So it's been 10 years. But I had about a 40-minute commute each way, and I loved listening to audiobooks in my car. I listened to the Cat Who books, which were narrated by, his last name is Guedel. I can't remember his first name. Is it Jim? John? Anyway, his last name is Guedel, and he was the perfect narrator for the Cat Who books, and I loved it. This was back in the day, too, before the library had such an easy sort of access online. I remember going into the library in downtown Seattle and sitting at their, like computerized card catalog and just scrolling through all their audiobooks to try to find something that I wanted. And I think I could sort by narrator. It had some search functionality, but it was nothing like what they have now. And they may have even actually been on CD at that time. I think they were still on CD way back then. Prompt number 2 is, do you use your local library? And yes, I do. I am a very heavy library user. I love paper books from the library. I get a ton of ebooks from the library, which I did a lot of over the pandemic, and actually still constantly do. My favorite thing to do, honestly, if I'm being completely upfront with myself, I prefer reading on my Kindle. But I also love to buy beautiful editions. So a lot of times what I will do when I'm ready to read one of my vintage editions is I'll get it on ebook at the library and read it that way. It's just so darn convenient. I own all of the Miss Read Thrush Green series on my Kindle because I read those and I like to have them. But as far as trying to think of, I haven't gotten paper books from the library in a long time. Since the pandemic, we couldn't go in for a while and I just got out of the habit. So I have not actually been into the building since the pandemic hit. That's a lie. I went in once to print something that I needed to print. I don't have a printer at home, so I go to the library to print things. But anyway, yes, I do love the library. And luckily we have a beautiful and very robust library system here in the Pacific Northwest. Prompt number 3 is, do you DNF books? And yes, I do. I have no problem DNFing. If I'm not, I don't have to be loving something, because I have read books that I've given 1 or 2 stars to. The noise is starting. I'm going to have to hurry. All right. Prompt number 5. Do you make time or have a specific time in your day devoted to reading? I always read in bed at night. And that's really my only specifically devoted time. I am trying to get in the habit of, at the end of my workday, instead of plopping the TV on, I've watched Unforgotten, which is one of my favorite British crime mystery series. I just finished that. And I love it. I love watching TV. But I'm trying to get in the habit of reading for an hour after work, a paper book, so that I don't just immediately go to the TV. Because I turn the TV on, I get myself a nice little drink, start thinking about dinner, which is good. I like that routine, but I'm thinking it would be nice to get a little bit of reading done in between when I start dinner and TV and after work. So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. Prompt number 6 is, do you dog ear books? I do. Now, of course, my collectibles, I don't. So none of these. But I dog ear cookbooks. I dog ear books with things I forget about and want to come back to if I don't have a sticky handy. Primarily, I dog ear cookbooks because I want them to be useful documents, and I'm not precious about books that I don't collect. Prompt number 7 is, do you annotate books? And I don't. I annotated when I was doing a buddy read. I tried that out, and it works sort of. And if I was buddy reading a paper book, I would probably do some annotating, but I've been mostly reading on my Kindle, and then I can highlight stuff easily on my Kindle. So that's sort of annotating, and I do that. I do highlight in my Kindle. And prompt number 8 is, how do you feel about spoilers? And this is the last prompt. So I don't like spoilers. I find I don't like small spoilers more than anything. There is one of my favorites. Let's see. Where is it? Here. Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay. I talked about this in my, there was a spoilers tag going around last year, and it's a tiny little spoiler, but there's a spoiler on the back of the cover of that in the blurb. And it's one of the things, as I was reading the book, that it unfolded very slowly. It was a small-ish thing, but it was basically the whole kind of premise of the book. So it ultimately was, I thought, was a big thing. And they talk about it on the back of the book. So there's so many books that I just try to go into completely blind. I think they're so much more fun, especially Sarah Waters, who is such a great storyteller. And I love to go in not knowing anything about her books, because they unravel and are so richly kind of built that I love not knowing anything about them. Fantasies, not so much for romances. All right, well, I don't know if you can hear that, but that is my clue that it is time to go. And that was actually the last prompt. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.